Well, hello everyone. I think we're live. I think it's happening. Hello everyone that's watching. Thank you for coming along. Of course, Elisa's away, so we're going to play instead around dreams. And you can see this gorgeous creature I've got next to me. This is actually Xandrel. Zandy is my dream buddy, and we've talked about dream buddies before, but we'll go through it again today. So hi Zandy, how are you going?
Hi, I'm good, thank you. How are you?
Yeah, I'm great. I'm very excited, and Jasper's a bit excited too. So we'll see if he pops through today as well. He says hello to everyone. So I hope you're all going great out there. So today we're gonna do a little bit of a talk just around the solar eclipse that's happening, because I'm finding a lot of people are getting really triggered, and it sort of can be really bringing up a lot of deep subconscious stuff, which can affect and come through in our dreams as well. Then I would love to just run a little meditation for you all and run some energy. So even if you're watching this afterwards, you'll still get the benefit of that energy. It's timeless, literally. So, and just to connect us into our higher self, because it's something we can do before we go to sleep. So I think it's a great little meditation to run. What else we're going to do? Then we're going to basically talk about dreams, and I will do a reading for someone sort of closer to the end of the show. So hang around if you'd like to be one that gets chosen for a reading. But another thing I want to do is apologize if you're watching this afterwards and there's ads on. I'm so sorry. I'm trying my best to get them off. I don't get any financial reward from them, and they annoy me, so I'm sure they annoy everyone else. So I'm working on that. So please forgive me for those. I didn't put them up. So the first thing, I just want to talk a little bit about how Zandy and I met, and it was the weirdest situation. You know how the universe, the multiverse, tries to put people together? Well, I actually worked with Zandy's dad a long time before I met her, and it was really sad because Zandy's mum passed when I was working with her dad. So I ended up going to the funeral, and I still hadn't met Zandy. And it wasn't for a few years later. I'd been overseas for 6 weeks. I came back to a conference for work, and there's this new girl. And I remember spying her on the balcony. I went, oh, she's psychic. And so I went up to her and introduced myself and said, you're really psychic. And she went, no, that's my sister. I went, no, you're really psychic. So that's how Zandy and I met. And then we just started talking about dreams, didn't we, Zandy?
We did, yeah. I was actually going through a really tough time, having snake dreams, constantly having snake dreams, and I got to the point I just couldn't sleep. And somebody at work said, oh, talk to Maree about that. She's really good at dreams. So I went and spoke to Maree, and I told her, because I had this, it sounds horrible, but it was like this massive carpet python, probably like this thick, and it crawled over the top of my head, and I swear I was awake, but I was dreaming. And it scared the crap out of me because I thought there was one in my house. And at the time I lived alone. So I was like, oh, what am I going to do? I can't sleep anymore. I've got to sleep with the light on and everything else. And I talked to Maree about it. And that's when she explained about snakes being part of the Kundalini. And that I should probably look into that and see, the fact that it was going over my head is trying to wake me up. Trying to tell me you are psychic. Start using your third eye. Start opening up that crown chakra, because you are getting messages and you don't even know about it. Oh, I'm getting the goosebumps as I tell this story.
And
it's been a while since I told it, but yeah.
I know. So it's been about 15 or 16 years, I think, since we first started working with dreams.
Yeah.
So yeah, and we'll talk about how dream buddies can work as well for you guys. So if you've had any dreams that have just, you're still stumped, or they just blew your mind, or you just remember them for some reason, pop them up in the comments, and we'll go through them. And if you want to have help deciphering them, then it's nice to have Zandy here as well, because we've both had different types of dreams, and we can use our fantastic dream book, which is our Betty Bethard's The Dream Book. This is one of the best I've found. I've looked at heaps. She channeled this through. She's really connected to her higher self, and she channeled through. It's so simple to use. But of course, you have to be your own guru, your own dream guru, and start to work out what the dream means for you personally. So it looks like we've got a few more people on, which is fabulous. And
we do actually people who have, Steph said she's had a horrible dream last night. So if you don't mind, Steph, are you able to just give a little blurb about what that is?
And we'll look at that in a minute. Yeah,
Yeah.
love it. Just give us as much detail as you can. It doesn't have to be a book, but yeah, just give us as much detail. And some really good things that might help is what I do is I say, if this dream was a movie, what would I call it? What colors were in it? Who were the main characters? Were there any specific numbers in it? Were there any archetypes in it? So for me, an archetype depicts like the villain, the lover, the robber, the whatever, and then things like water, which depicts emotions. So write anything that was like that you remember noticing. So that'd be great. So, but the first thing I will do before we start is I will just run for just a minute or two. Let's do a little meditation. Get ourselves centered because of these huge energies that are coming in through the great central sun, through this solar eclipse, which is sort of knocking people around a little bit. So this one is actually going to be about connecting into our higher self, which is something I really recommend before we go to sleep. So if you all want to just stop for just a moment and just let yourself sit comfortably if you can, unless you're cooking dinner or something, and just close your eyes and have your feet flat on the ground. And just take a breath in. And as you breathe out, let yourself drop into your body because we're often so anxious and out there and busy. So just drop. Then with another breath in, this time on the breath out, I want you to take your attention into that heart chakra area, right into that beautiful heart of yours. And you're going to see, sense or feel or have the intention of white light beginning to birth from deep within the heart. This helps purify, balance, release any pain, and rejuvenate as it begins to expand through your heart and then all through your body. And if you've had any aches or pains or sore joints or headaches, have the intention of allowing them to come through this heart chakra to be released with this white light. And just feel that sense of peace as you allow this time for you to tune in to this beautiful frequency. And now I want you to call through your higher self, your divine mind, whatever it is that you call it, and ask to be connected so you either feel, see, sense, or communicate even with this very smart part of you. And just trust that that is exactly what's happening. If thoughts come in to confuse you, just let them go. It's okay. And now we're going to call through our crown chakra, a pillar of golden light coming through from the great central sun, pouring in through the top of your crown, moving all the way down through your body again into your energetic field, clearing that, really revitalizing you. And we're releasing any dross or anything that is holding you back, making space. And as that beautiful energy, the high frequency from our great central sun comes through at the same time, from the core of our beautiful earth through her crystal, we bring up her light, her energy, her prana to come up under our feet, all the way through the body, into the energy field, again merging with that golden light from the great central sun. And now allow yourself to accept this energy, to feel renewed, and to know that you can connect into your higher self. Let your fear go. Let your doubt go. And just know you're being looked after, protected and guided through this divine wisdom that is an aspect of you and in reality an aspect of all of us. Okay. So when you're ready, I want you to gently begin to bring yourself back into the here and now. Opening your eyes, wriggling your toes. And just know you can actually do that for yourself when you wake up or when you go to sleep, or if you're having a bit of a hard time. So that was our little meditation for today. And like I said, anyone watching later, you will get all the frequency I was running for everyone. So that will help zoom it along a bit. Okay. So,
Thank you for
Zen,
that.
you're welcome. Yeah, I could feel that coming in, actually. I don't know about you, but yeah, I could really feel that coming through. And I mean, I don't know about you. I mean, I know I've been a little bit triggered and had some deep subconscious stuff coming up for me to look at and look at my patterns and go, why do I always react like that? So I've actually been able to change some things. So I don't know how you've gone, Zandy, with all this energy coming in.
Oh, it feels like everybody's been shifted and moved, and the kids especially are just gone bananas. So it's been a very trying time in our household.
Yeah, so Zandy's got
You know?
beautiful twins who are extremely sensitive and psychic themselves. So it's quite cool, very cool to actually play with them. And we can talk about dreams and kids as well. If you've got kids, grandkids, whatever, there's some really beautiful things we can do with the kids. So first of all, I'll just ask, well, what are dreams? I mean, some of you might have been on here before. We've done the dream show, but basically, scientifically, they say that dreams come from the is it the amygdala? Yeah, the amygdala and the hippocampus. So that's the emotional and the memory function of our brain. And that's when we're in REM sleep, or rapid eye movement sort of sleep. And some people that go into more theta waves, which, as we know, if we're meditating, we can heal from that theta space. They tend to remember dreams as well. I find if I wake up when I'm sort of just in the middle of a dream, that's when I tend to remember it. So some people have no dreams and they've got a syndrome that apparently happens. And it can be quite stressful because dreams can be very helpful in releasing stress for us. So now, as well as that, just be aware some drugs will stop you dreaming. So things like blood pressure, some beta blockers, some blood pressure tablets will stop you. Some antidepressants can stop you dreaming, antihistamines, and some antibiotics even. So just be aware that if you are taking particular medication, it can change your dreaming and your dreaming pattern. Some can activate it. So and tryptophan apparently is one of the aspects of food. So if you've sat down and had, like, apparently in the US with your Thanksgiving, you have turkey, that apparently releases a lot of tryptophan. So you might have some crazy dreams after you've had like big meals with chicken, eggs, turkey, white rice, all those sorts of foods. So just be aware when you're eating before you go to bed, how much you're eating, because that can really affect your dream state as well. And what time you go to bed. Oh, the other one is chocolate. Sorry, but chocolate makes you have crazy dreams. So it's not such a good thing. All right. So let's have a look at what sort of dreams do we have. And we can talk about these as well as we go. I call them resolution dreams. So if you've got stuff going on in your day, our dreams can help to actually unpack this. It can also like clear things away for you, can problem solve, but you can also have outside influences. I remember once I was dreaming and there was a storm going on, and in my dream there was a storm, and then my cat jumped into my dream and was meowing at me, and I realized I'd left him outside. This was ages ago, so I went out, I let him in. He actually came into my dream. So animals can actually come into dreams. They're really quite sensitive, as we know anyway, quite connected. And it's actually this silver cord apparently that goes from our like umbilical, our belly button, that allows us to travel in our dreams. And that's the difference between death, leaving the body permanently, or dreaming. So we get to fly off and explore other realms, other dimensions while we're sleeping in our dreams. And I know I've certainly done that, and probably most of you have as well. And apparently times around the full moon, don't be surprised if your dreams amp up about 5 days before the full moon. So just watch all these things for yourself and notice. Start to keep a dream diary. Notice when your dreams happen, when they're maybe more vivid or what's going on in them. So should we start looking? We can talk through some other stuff, but it'd be great. Sandy, do you want to just start? Maybe.
Sure. So Teresa has a question.
Yes.
905 near the top.
Yep.
I had a dream when I was young about hiding behind an old metal hospital bed. Crazy women were circling and yelling at me like it was a mental hospital.
Wow.
I've always remembered that dream.
Wow. So you were young. an old metal hospital bed. Yeah, I actually worked in places, Teresa, that had them, so I know exactly what you're talking about. Okay, so Zandy, do you want to have a look at this one with Teresa?
Well, the fact that you were young when it happened,
Yeah.
the first thing that came to me was it's like you're awakening. It's like you were almost remembering a previous life,
Yeah.
and that your subconscious was reminding you that you're not that anymore, and that it's okay to just be you, and it's okay to be your psychic you too, because probably the reason you were in that mental hospital is because you were psychic and they didn't want to accept that. So
Goosebumps. Yeah.
that's how I see it. But I mean, what have you got, Maree?
Well, yeah, and it'd be interesting to know what Teresa said. And I actually pulled the Lovers card then as well. So to me, this is actually parts of ourselves, bringing them together. So this is an aspect of you that you may have been judged for in another lifetime. But now we can actually bring these together. It's really safe for us to have these beautiful gifts of clairvoyance or clairaudience or whatever. I mean, even when I was a nurse and I was a student nurse, I was working on the psych ward. And I remember seeing this young boy, this young male, and they said, "Oh, he's schizophrenic." And I looked at him and went, "No, he's just psychic. He just hasn't got anyone to help him." Of course, I couldn't do anything about that back then. That would have been, I would have been actually admitted myself. So, but yeah, so look, I think you did that beautifully, Sandy. So Teresa, if that sort of sits with you, let us know, because that's a pretty traumatic dream as well to have as a child.
Mm,
So,
mm.
and the other thing that can happen if we've
Um,
yeah, but if there has been mental illness in the family that's been called mental illness, then of course we do tend to suppress what we think might be crazy, which is actually our clairvoyance or our clairaudience. So you could also be clearing something that's within your lineage. So yeah, but that's great. Thank you. So what else have we got?
Okay, so a little bit down, Wolf Love.
Yeah.
Maree, question. I dreamed last night I got my bike out and it had 2 flat squishy tires and that was it. I just looked at it and then woke up. What do you get from that?
Wow. Okay. Thanks, Wolf Love. So what's a bike? Well, a bike is what? A form of transport. You have to be balanced to be on a bike, right? And if you've got 2 flat squishy tires, you ain't going to go far. So it's almost like, what is there a part of you that is deflated, that's not in balance? What do you reckon? I'm going to look this up for you as well so that you can start to see how we can use the book rather than just interpreting it. So do you want to just have a go with that, Sandy?
Well, I mean, bikes, cars, trucks, boats, anything like that is normally your form of transport. It's who you are. So if your tires are flat, exactly as Maree said, you're a bit deflated, you're a bit tired perhaps, and needing to wake up. My question is, what colour was the bike?
Yes.
Because that is the chakra that needs to be woken up.
Thank you. And that's brilliant you've brought that up, because something I wanted to show you guys, a lot of you on here I know are really onto stuff and you know things. But when we're talking about chakras, if you have a look here, there are 7 main chakras and then there are others that go above that. But if you are, if a color comes up, it can represent a chakra, especially if you've been hit or you've got a wound or something in your dream in one of these chakras. They actually connect in to our endocrine system. So for example, the heart chakra, that's our thymus gland, which is our immune system. So it can give you a hint. It can tell you, hey, this is out of balance. You better do something with it or you could get sick. So, or are you losing, energy from your heart to a situation that you need to look at? So that's
just said that the bike in the dream was yellow, but the actual bike in real life is purple.
So yellow, let's have a look at yellow. This is your solar plexus area. So this is your power center. So if you are having problems getting your bike going and getting balanced, then your power center is out of balance. You're not feeling empowered. So you're losing energy maybe from that power center. So if we look in the book, Zandy's spot on with what she was saying there. So bicycle, need for balance in your life, balance energies before moving ahead under full steam. So it could be that you don't have enough personal empowerment around a situation to go into it, or you're going to keep leaking the energy in. And there's some beautiful little energy things that we can do to help with that as well. But first of all, look at what your issues are that are going on for you now. Where do you feel like you may be losing energy to someone or some situation? So that's great for giving that color through. And let's have a look at tires and see if anything comes up with tires. So where are we? TY. Sometimes they're not under what you think they might be under, so you do have to do a little bit of looking. No, see, it hasn't got tire. So, but we know what tires do. They help us to get somewhere with ease, don't they, when they're pumped up? Yeah. So that's beautiful. Thanks, Wolf Love. So if you think of anything else, pop it in there for us.
Yeah.
So just wait before you start going and doing something.
So Steph has been able to put her dream up, which is a couple down from there. Dreamed about husband being unfaithful to me with his ex in a bubble bath in a big.
Oh, they suck, don't they, Steph?
They suck.
Now, Zandy, you know these ones. Do you want to? Can you talk about this?
Okay, so dreaming of an ex or dreaming of anybody, to be honest, that is in your life is actually an aspect of you. So just know not to get mad at your husband today because it's not his fault. He didn't do anything in real life. I know it's easy to want to, but he didn't do anything. It was just a dream. And so he is an aspect of you, and he would be your masculine aspect. So what part of your masculine self are you being unfaithful to yourself about? Being in a bubble bath, that's energy and emotions, like especially with all the bubbles, it's like, oh, something's really, really big right now. Especially if there are a lot of bubbles. Oh, I'm getting the goosebumps. And in a big city, so it's almost like it's a really big deal, something really big in your life. You have so many emotions that you haven't expressed yet. And you're almost sabotaging yourself by not sitting with it and figuring out what it is and allowing it to be or process it.
Yeah, nicely said. Yeah, it does. And like I said, over time, we get to know more and more what our archetypes are. So what does a bath mean for you? Like, for example, growing up in Australia, we had these lots of windmills out in the farm when I grew up. So for my sister, seeing a windmill means that it's an emotional stepping point. It's not the big waterfall, but it is an emotion because it's got the big water tank on it. So it's a water tank windmill. So that's emotion. So for her, she knows it's a stepping stone. It's not actually she hasn't got to the real, I suppose, endpoint or goal. So her dream's showing her you're on the right path, but you're not there yet. So find out what your actual triggers are and what your archetypes mean for you. So, yeah, thanks, Sandy.
Dreaming the same thing over and over, and the same symbols will come up over and over. I've just had some new symbols come into my dreams recently relating to my teeth and chewing, and it's something that I've never dreamt about, and I've had to actually look it up, and each time I have to re-look it up, like, what does it mean? What does it mean? So everybody has their own certain things. Snakes is definitely one that angels like to give me, and I don't like that.
I know, but you had to make friends with the snakes, didn't you?
I do, yeah.
So, which is good. So, yeah, and the other one is there's different types of dreams. So you can have prophetic dreams. So it's actually prophesizing something that's going to happen and you just know it. You can have dreams for yourself that are prophetic, not so global. Flying dreams, as I've said before, I just love flying dreams. I've been everywhere, man, all over the world. I love it. It's so good. And you have to train yourself how to fly, have control of that dream, as much as astral traveling. So, and that's when I actually feel what's going on around me. So, Zandy, you've had some great dreams of being in a whole other dimensions. And do you want to talk about one of those?
Sure. I remember one specifically where I was at a local shopping centre. All the lights were on, all the shops were open, but there was no one to be seen. Not even a car, no single human except for me. And I was like, what is going on? Where are we? Well, everything's still open. What's happened? Have I missed something? And then I turn around and there's this guy wearing sunglasses and in a silver suit, and he's looking at me very sternly with a machine gun or whatever with him, and he's like, "What are you doing here?" And I went, "I wanted to go shopping." And he's like, "No one has been on this frequency in years. What are you doing on this frequency?" And I was like, I don't know. I'm here. Anyway, he said, "You need to go back to your normal frequency." And then I woke up.
So you got your explanation virtually while you're in the dream that you were definitely on another dimension somewhere that was
Because
you
it
weren't
was
meant to be.
here and now, but there was no one else there. It was like I was in a totally different realm.
Absolutely. And this is what can happen. So, all right, we've got one here from Maple Tree. Do you want to
So I
read that out?
had a dream a couple of days or a couple of weeks where I was in a silveric suit and it seemed off worlds, not from here.
Isn't that just fascinating that that's just followed what you were talking about? This is synchronicity, guys. So silver. So first of all, I'd look up what silver means. So I'll have a quick look for you. Colours. We'll go to colours and silver. What do you think silver means, Sandy?
Oh, I don't remember off the top of my head.
Oh, this is beautiful.
Too.
I've got it. So maple tree silver is spiritual protection or truth. So you're actually being told that you felt like it seemed off worlds. You were. So it's your higher self telling you that yes, you are where you think you are. So I would explore that more, Maple Tree. And I've often said this to people, or I've done it myself. If I'm not sure about a dream or it finished and I never got to know what happened, you can meditate, go into a meditative state and actually ask to be shown how that dream goes. So that's cool. You're actually getting told that you're traveling. Wow.
That's really cool. Love it. Love those.
It is. So what's this one?
Freedom. In a dream, just before I woke up, I said, "We have to stop asking for murders."
Wow. Okay. That's quite profound.
I wonder what the context of the dream was.
Yeah, it does help to have a context. But if I was just going to look at that statement on its own, a murder is what? Killing something off. So what is there something within yourself that you feel you're losing energy from, or you feel it's died off, or it's been life's been taken, you've had something taken from you. So yeah, but that's freedom. That's something I would actually sit and have a meditation and ask for more clarity around it, or just set the intention before you go to sleep to ask more about that dream and what it is, what's meant in it for you. So that's, yeah. What do you think, Zandy?
It's definitely about you because all dreams are about yourself.
Yeah.
So it would be, what parts do I feel are being cut off without me wanting it to be? Or maybe I'm not ready for them to be moving on. I'm still holding on to it for some reason.
Yeah.
I would definitely ask more information in your next dream and ask for some really big symbols so that you can go and check out what do those symbols actually mean. You know, like whether it's water, if it's emotions, or if it's certain ways that you're like a boat or a car, or, you know, colours, things like that. Something that you can easily find to be able to get a quick answer.
Yeah, and just ask also who's asking to stop for the murders. So, you know, yeah. So that's a great idea. So everyone's saying that the meditation was good. I'm so glad. And like I said, you can do that for yourselves as well. It's really, really lovely. I'm glad you enjoyed it. Okay, so let's have a look at this one. This is another one from Freedom. Do you want to read that, Sandy?
Yeah, sorry. In another dream, I saw Trump and he and I came to talk to each other. And I said to him, "I miss you so much," and we hugged.
Okay, that's really interesting. So to me, it can be, what aspects of Trump do you like within yourself that you maybe haven't been connecting with? So we can admire other people or we can dislike other people. When that person's in our dream, what is it we actually, you know, can relate to them about, or who they are or what they've done? So, yeah. And I mean, sometimes too, I do know that we can connect in with other beings. I've had that sort of dream where there's definitely been other beings in my dream. So this is where you need to know your own dreams. What are you getting, Zandy?
Well, Trump is a public figure, which in my book would classify as a famous person.
Right.
So famous people in most dreams are actually your guides. So I would say that Trump was your guide. He was there to help you to work through something, and maybe you finished like maybe there was a lesson that you've been working on and you finished it, and he was there to say, well done, good for you, you've done it. And that's what the hug and the embrace and the connection was, to say, good job, you did well.
Yeah. And it's funny because the cards that I just got the hit to pull some cards, and the Four of Pentacles came up. So this is slowly building a solid foundation, and then the world. So this is going to help you in your world, whatever it is that you feel like you've done but you've missed, but you've actually been doing it slowly. So okay, Maple Tree's got another one here.
Yep. So I was a commander in that dream, and a soldier came to me because the mission wasn't successful. So I take over and went to that area. I had weapons to beat something that looked like humans. Was this to do with previous discussion?
Yeah, let me just see. So this was from where's Maple Trees? Yeah, dreams could be parallel lives.
No.
Yeah, I can't remember. No, it might not be. So
separate. Sorry.
Yeah. So it looks, so look, what's war? What are war dreams? What are soldier dreams about? So, that's what you need to look at as well. So let's just have a look and see.
That could be a war within yourself, something that conflict where one part of you wants to do one thing and the other part wants to do something else. The fact that you were the commander in the dream meant you were actually in charge. And if a soldier came to you because it wasn't a success, they're trying to look for more answers. They're coming to you for more answers. You had weapons. So it's like you've got all the tools. It just hasn't come to fruition yet. Whatever is going on in your life, it just hasn't happened yet. Be patient, because you are the commander. You are in charge. It will come. Just give it some time.
Zandy, you're spot on, because I just looked up war, and it was fighting within self, rejecting parts of self. All aspects must work in harmony. Intellect, intuition, male, female, body, mind, spirit, need for balance and integration. So it's spot on. So look at how much information we can just get from one dream about what's actually going on, even if it's subconsciously. So
I think one thing that everybody needs to remember is that everything in your dream is actually about you. It's not necessarily about other people or what's happening in the world, unless you get that definite feeling that it is a prophetic dream. Or it's just a dream, because we have them too.
That's right. But also too, and the fact that you had weapons to beat something that looked like humans, what aspect of yourself are you beating up?
Yeah.
Are you hard on yourself, Maple Tree?
Hasn't happened yet. Yeah.
So okay, so Maple Tree's asking if it was another life.
That was to do with the dream at the top. A dream couple. Not this.
No, this one. No, I think it was this one. So I'm okay. I'm not feeling that it is. I'm feeling that this was something that's, like we just talked about, that's going on for you at the moment. That's my feeling. That's my sense. What about you, Zandy?
Yeah, if it wasn't that one, it was the wearing the silver uniform. I think that was Maple Trees.
Oh, okay. So no, that was Wolf Love, I think. So yeah, and it's so hard, guys, because everything moves down, so we lose track of it. It's all good.
Maple Tree that was wearing that silveric suit. Like you're in off-worlds. You were in another world.
Yeah. So so Space Cadet Lottie says cheese makes her dreams daft, and and Steph has said that she's had nightmares on different drugs as well. Mm-hmm. So I know, and it's just worth knowing, just to be mindful, this can happen. So okay, let's have a look and see. Space Cadet Lottie.
So I have dreams manipulated by negative technology, but you can recognize them as they feel slightly off. I've literally felt them be inserted into the top of my head.
Yeah, wow.
That's
It's pretty
true.
wild. I know. It's pretty wild, isn't it?
So
So, and also too, just like some other things is give yourself maybe half an hour before you go to sleep, just of quiet time. Like, so don't have any technology on. You know, if you want to read for a little bit, that's great, but just do a little bit of meditation, have soft lights or turn your lights off, just so you give your body a chance to clear. I often will run white light through my body, through my etheric field, just to clear anything out that's maybe hooked in. And that just helps you when you go into your sleep, then you're in a much more peaceful state. But you can protect yourself as well. Space Cadet Lottie, like, you know, you can ask for your higher self. This is why I always say connecting with your higher self, ask to be guided in your dreams, to be protected in your dreams. And that may actually help if you feel that that's happening for you. So,
something I teach my kids every night before we go to sleep is light your body, ground into the earth, let that white light go all around you, and then bubble yourself to protect yourself. One child likes to do about 10 different coloured bubbles because he's colourful like that, and the other child just likes to do 2 and that's it. So it's whatever you feel. I always ask them to do a light blue for protection and then gold around that for a further protection. But I always ask the angels to watch over as well. And they seem to do that even if they're in a situation where they're feeling uncomfortable when they're awake as well. So it's something to just keep in mind, especially before you go to sleep. It's always a nice feeling to know that you're protected, and put some gargoyles up, increase your frequency so that nobody interrupts you unless it's an emergency.
Exactly. Yep, phone's off. Oh, and the other thing as well is if you're setting your alarm for the morning, and a lot of people hit snooze, apparently it's one of the worst things you can do, because our sleep cycles are about an hour and a quarter. So if you hit snooze and you get 8 minutes, you actually get brought out when you could have been going right back into deep sleep, and you can feel worse for it. And that's often when you don't remember your dreams, if you've forgotten to write them down. So just a little note to self: if you set your alarm for 10 minutes later, but get up when your alarm first goes off. So there you go. There's a little tip about sleeping and feeling better in the day. So, and to remember dreams, like we've talked about this before, but keep a notebook or something, or next to you or in your bed with a pen. So I just jot down, if I have to, 2 or 3 words, and then the whole dream will often just come flooding back to me. So that's something else that you can do as well. So,
yeah.
Where else? What else have we got here? Oh, wow. Teresa, I'm going to pop this up because this is adding to Teresa's story about being in the hospital with the metal beds. And
so, yes, my grandmother used to take with her to get shock treatment at the hospital. Who does that to a kid?
Yeah, so that's definitely trauma, but I would say there's some lineage there. That's what, and as Zandy was saying, there could have been for you past life memories from a situation. So, yeah, so traumatizing.
Maybe having this dream come back to you, it's reminding you, and your job here is to process that, so that through different lines and through different parallel universes, it can actually be processed and healed and cleared.
Yeah, definitely. So, and this is the lifetime where we can do that. You know, we're allowed to be as crazy psychic as we like. We're allowed to be anything we want, and we're not going to get put in a straitjacket. So, and you know, the frequency is at such a much more expanded, finer rate that we can heal. We can actually shift these genetic traumas, you know, that have come through, and it also helps to heal so many other people. It's not just us. So
that's it.
Yeah. So
Sarah Lou has a question at 9:19. My deceased father is in my dreams. It's always at a big event with lots of people, but we don't interact. Why? Oh, I want to cry at that one.
I know. Oh.
So nice to see a deceased loved one in a dream. It's just, sometimes they're just there to say hi. Oh, I'm going to cry.
Yeah, because your mum does that for you, doesn't she, Zandy?
Often. Sometimes she doesn't talk to me. She just holds my hand, or she'll just be there in the car. Sometimes she's driving my car, which I'm like, hang on, I'm meant to be driving. But, yeah, I think it's nice. If it's at a big event, you know, maybe it's a big event in your life. Maybe you're going through something really big and he just wants to be there to say, It's all good. I got ya. I'm here. I'm here
Yeah.
to say hi. I'm watching. I'm helping from the other side.
Yeah, that's beautiful. Yeah, it's so true. Yeah, it is. It's almost like they're letting you know that we don't really die. We just sort of, our energy's just a little bit over here somewhere. So I know what you're up to.
Maybe when you're awake, and even now, you could just say, "Hey, Dad, next time you come into my dream, can you come and say hi? Because it's really annoying me that you're not."
Beautiful. Yeah,
Ask him to do that, and maybe he will.
yeah,
And it's okay if he doesn't.
yeah. That's
Yeah.
true. Oh, thanks, Sandy. So we've done that one. Yep, done that one. Okay.
Therese, why am I being so vocal and physical in my dreams all of a sudden? I'm scaring my poor dog to death. I'm yelling out a lot and actually fell off onto the floor once.
Wow, Teresa, goodness. Okay. Okay, so if you're expressing out in a dream, it sounds like a release in
Mm,
some ways, a release of something. So um, I'm not sure if you've been going through something or it's just time for something that's been in your deep subconscious to come out. So are you actually being able to express yourself to people how you want to as well? It feels like a release. What about you, Zandy? What are you getting?
yeah, it feels like you're in two places at once. So your body isn't understanding that you're in a dream,
Yep.
which is why you're vocalizing and even falling onto the floor. So you're probably moving around like an octopus in a washing machine in your bed too. Hence the dog's getting scared. But I don't know. I've not actually come across that before. So this is a new one for me.
Yeah.
Thank
Well, I used to sleepwalk as a kid. So
you.
I would have been just dreaming or whatever, but I used to walk around and Mum would just help guide me back into the bedroom. And it sort of happened till I was about 8 or 9. I would sleepwalk. So people can actually be, it's like dogs. Have you seen animals or dogs when they're dreaming and they're like chasing the rabbit or whatever they're doing with their paws? And so they tend to actually express out in their dreams as well. So so yeah, so look, just maybe before you go to sleep, just ask to get some understanding of what's going on in your dream. But it can be expression. I know sometimes some of you might have I've tried to call out in my dream to stop something and I can't. You know how you can't because there's that barrier between that reality and then the physical 3D reality. So
Yeah.
it sounds like you're going through it. So,
Yeah.
yeah. So
Ask your higher self to help you through that one, I would say. Well,
yeah,
that's what I would do.
yeah. Okay. Okay, we've got one here. I'm just going to pop up Space Cadet Lottie's.
Okay, so is there a spiritual reason for night terrors and sleepwalking? Similar question.
That's bizarre, isn't it?
When I was really little,
Yeah, yeah.
I was in the same dream that used to make me scream and run around. I did have some abduction. Okay.
Okay. So yeah, night terrors and sleepwalking. Well, exactly just what I said about the sleepwalking. I remember waking up once when I was sleepwalking, and I don't think I slept walk after that. So maybe it is just bringing all that subconscious stuff or whatever, and once it's seen in our 3D waking world, that can shift things.
Why don't we look at the cards for this one because
Yeah,
they're asking if there's a spiritual reason that there's
yeah.
night terrors. So
I do remember the night terrors that I was having as a child, though, was a witch chasing me on a broomstick up a spiral mountain. And this used to go, it was frequent. I was terrified. This witch, I'd be running my little heart out. I'm like 3 having these night terrors. It took me till I was 28 to work out what was going on. When I read that book, Running with the Wolves by Pincaloba, I think Estelle or Estevez. Yeah. And she talked about you have to turn around and face your fear. And so I remember I was so exhausted. I got to the top of the mountain. I was going, I have to do it. And I was going, but I'm so scared. And this witch is behind me on a broomstick. And the next minute, this talking horse comes out and goes, you can do this. I was going, oh, there's a talking horse. Okay, I can do this. Like crazy, right? And I was hiding behind a car and I stood up and I went, what do you want from me? And the witch went, oh, got off a broomstick, took off a hat, and it was me. I've been trying to catch you for years. It was the witch part of myself that I was so afraid of that I would have been burnt at the stake for in other lifetimes, trying to hide my abilities, the healing, the connection, the psychic abilities. So sometimes we have to face our fear as well, Space Cadet Lottie, and actually ask that aspect of us, and I had this talking horse that was helping me. So weird stuff can go on in dreams. So yeah, so let's have a look. Let's have a look and see what's going on for you here. Let's just see. Yeah, so the judgment cards come up. So I would say this is really bringing up something from deep within. It can be from other lifetimes where there's fear or trauma that's been released within and it's coming through our subconscious. So see how everyone's sort of waking up there with the announcement of it. So that's sort of sometimes, what can actually happen. 2 of Cups. So this is about finding that relationship within yourself. Again, turning around and facing it. Look at this. Turn around, face it, and talk to it. And and then with the abduction, it's almost like this was like a contract, because the 3 of Pentacles to me it's about a contract, whether you experienced it, whether it was real, not real, you wanted to know what it was like. And this is something that we actually do agree to on a soul level, at some level. So do your protection if that's still something that really is affecting you. I'm not sure, you said it was when you were little, so hopefully that has settled for you, because that can be quite traumatizing in itself. So what are your thoughts, Sandy?
Yeah. Again, having night terrors and sleepwalking isn't something I've had too much to do with. So I would take your experience on that more than mine.
Yeah. So and I mean, I know I've had beings that have felt really uncomfortable when I've been sort of dreaming, and it's like I feel like there is a presence there, which is what Space Cadet Lottie has actually said too.
Yeah.
So
So this is to do with, I'm assuming, the abduction with negative interference from greys and smoke beings that they've found out through hypnosis sessions.
Yeah.
So
just protect yourself and just release that trauma.
Yep.
Okay, so Maple Tree has had another dream.
So yes, I had yesterday or the other day a dream that I was observing 2 humans, one old male and the second was a younger guy. In my dream, the older guy was holding a book and talking to the younger one. Okay, so a male is the male aspect of yourself. A book would be knowledge. And it's almost like your older self is telling your younger self something or teaching something. So take note of what's going on in your life at the moment and how you might be responding, because you might be finding a different way to respond to things.
Yeah, totally. And the book, it's knowledge, it's learning, it's there's an aspect of you, higher self.
True.
True. That wise spiritual being. So it could be your higher self speaking to you as well. So okay. Oh, all right. So and Christina has said, that when talking about a famous person. I mean, God, Sandy, tell people the sort of famous people you've had in your dreams. And
I love it when famous people turn up. Once I had the whole cast of Friends. That was a really funny dream. I laughed really, really hard in that dream. I don't even know why. It was just such a fun dream. We were just having a ball. Other times I get Matt Damon. I've had Trump in my dream before too. Anybody. And sometimes it might be a particular show I'm watching. That particular person will come in and they won't be the character in what I was watching. They'll be my guide. Sometimes I've had intimate relationships with the guide, and then the guide's gone, I'm not allowed to do this, and then they run off. And then I'm like, oh well, that sucks. But I mean, they're still fun, and I love it when they're there, because when I wake up I go, oh, that was a dream, I got to remember. Now what was it? Okay, what are the symbols? What's this? What's that? Because they're really trying to tell me, or they're trying to help me work through something.
Yeah, and sometimes you said it can be when we're changing guides over. So when you have a new cast come in, it's sometimes for you, that's when you're actually going through something and you're getting that sort of support from a new guide.
Yeah.
So
I
okay.
saw in the comments a little bit further down, somebody was saying, is somebody actually giving me or interfering with my dreams? And I just thought now would be a good time to talk about that, especially talking about guides, because your guides come in and they help filter. Your angels also are a part of that. So when you're given dreams and different symbols, sometimes it's your angels learning how to teach you what to do and trying to find out a way that you understand and that works well with you to be able to move forward and to understand what's going on and either correct it in yourself or know that you're doing the right thing.
Beautiful.
I'm often used for new angels, and this is where I get my snake dreams, because every time, like, my angels know, do not give me a snake dream. So whenever I have a snake dream, I'm like, dudes, I've told you, stop it. And I like wake up at 2 a.m. or something and go, hey, stop that. I don't like those dreams. Show me in another way. There's always another way to find out. So if you get a dream that you don't like, you are allowed to ask them to show you in another way.
Yeah, absolutely. And we talk about symbols. I've actually had incredible experiences of being templated with actual frequency that like comes through as a flower of life, massive flower of life, that'll be filtering through my whole system. And I'll wake up and I'm still seeing it and it's still happening. So I've had that done with gold, different gold symbols, with colored symbols. So what it's doing is activating our DNA. It's time for our DNA to be activated so we can then go on to do our next step in our journey. So you might actually have real physical symbols coming through as well. So don't freak. So all right.
Well,
So
we've got about 10 minutes left. So
okay. So we'll do a few more quickly. Yep.
yeah,
And then we'll do a reading. Yep.
cool. So Catherine here has said, hi, beautiful ladies. I normally dream a lot during the night, so much that I wake up feeling restless. Any advice? Lucky you.
Yeah, I know. Are you writing them down? Are you getting your messages, Catherine? That will help. Just if you start having the intention and then action it by writing down your dreams, you might find it settles a little bit. What are you eating before you go to sleep? What time are you going to sleep? What sort of state of mind are you when you're going to sleep? Maybe connecting with your higher self, run that white light. So,
And maybe it's trying to tell you that you're doing too much. Slow down, stop, take some time for yourself, go and have a nice long bath or whatever, take a walk, whatever makes you feel happy and you, and maybe do a meditation or something just to help calm you down.
Yeah. And the other thing I like doing is I like to sage around my bed because when we're sleeping, we're actually releasing a lot of dross, a lot of energy and clearing out our etheric field. So just by saging or using a beautiful an proper oil spray or something like that, or even white lighting your bedroom can help to shift if there's anything that's sort of been just left behind. So that's just something that's worth knowing about too. So there's another one I had up that I just wanted to pop up. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
So I see myself a lot in dreams where I'm moving around or walking, but I'm a few inches to a foot off the ground. So it's a bit like a flying dream in a way.
I was just going to say, yep, Trigal, you're nearly ready to take off. Just see if you can start moving a bit more. So see what happens. Because sometimes I had to be running down a grassy slope and I have my arms out when I was teaching myself how to fly. And I'm going, yes, I can do it. And it was literally like that. So maybe start working a little bit more with that one. That's great. That's exciting. So, okay.
Another one a little bit further down from Teedrum, which says, hi, ladies. I sometimes dream that I'm flying. I love it, but when all of a sudden I lose power and can't stay afloat, then I wake up. What is this? Why do I dream this?
Yeah, so T-Drum, yeah, I love flying dreams as well. And sometimes I think I was talking about this the other day when I'd flown from Sydney to Western Australia to go back and see my cat. I was flying back in. I'd only just moved into this place, flying back in over the headlands and the ocean and coming into where I was living. I went, oh, my God, I don't remember where I live. And bang, I woke up in my body. So it could be it could also be like a safety thing. It's just bringing you back in. But keep working with it. It's like a muscle. Flying dreams are like a muscle. Keep working with it, and see if you can stay afloat longer. But it could be just time for you to come back into your body in this reality.
Maybe if you can remember this in your dream, and I know it's really hard to do, but maybe ask, why have I lost power? Why am I not moving like I was? Yeah. And you can ask questions while you're in dream. It's hard to remember though, especially if, you know.
Yeah, they're very spiritual dreams though as well.
Yeah.
So I like that. Look at what you're losing power from. So
yeah.
Okay, so I think shall we do a reading for someone?
Absolutely.
So, and we can do another one if you like next week, if everyone wants to keep, coming through with dreams, and we can talk more about stuff. Because Elise is away again next week, so we could always do next Friday if Zandy, our superstar, my dream buddy, is available.
Should be, hopefully.
Hopefully. She's great at this, isn't she?
I'll
So, okay, so I want you to put in, we'll do the 888 because we all know that one. So just put in 888s, and I'll get Zandy to pick one of you to have a reading, whoever's meant to have a reading at this stage, just to have a little bit of insight into things. Just give it a few seconds and it'll come through. And find yourself a dream buddy. So by a dream buddy, if you don't know what that means, it's like if you've got a partner that, like, the look on his face or her face is like, oh my God, don't talk to me about your dreams. They're not going to be your dream buddy. You want someone that's like Zandy, that's enthusiastic, that really does her work in her dreams, that always has an exciting dream. And I know when I'm getting one because she'll text me at 6 o'clock in the morning, are you awake yet? And I'll go, she's had a dream. And we get so much fun. You want someone that's on that zone. So even if, you want to connect with someone on here, that might be a really nice idea as well. So you can then, you're held accountable to remembering your dreams and to working with your own inner stuff. So, all right, Zandy, who's jumping out for you?
Vera Lou.
Vera Lou. Okay. So Vera Lou, what I do, Vera Lou, is I just tune into you, into your higher self through my higher self. And if there's anything that maybe can support you or help you at the moment that you're going through or whatever, then I'll pull the cards and then I intuit as well what's coming through for you. So I'm just going to tune in through to your higher self. Oh, that's interesting. Okay. So, look, I'm just going to shuffle these, pop them down, and then whichever, I like going for the ones that are hot or tingly so we can get some ideas about what's going on. It's really interesting. When I first tuned into you, Vera Lou, I saw pink love hearts coming up through. It's like you've really started to have more self-love is what I was getting, which is really interesting. And because they were rising up, I was wondering, oh, has she had a broken heart or is there something that's gone on? But no, I don't feel you have. There we go. Look at that. 3 of Cups. It's celebrating. It's like you're really, really starting to have this self-love. And it's almost like you haven't been at that place before to this depth with that self-love. I'm getting for you, connecting in with your higher self more and more is going to be really, really beneficial for you. So, because when you've got questions to ask, that 2 of Pentacles to me is asking questions, making decisions. It's going to really help you because you're coming from quite a different place when you come from self-love and you're connected into your higher self. So, yeah, the world. It's actually going to change your world when you start doing that. And make it a habit. Actually make it part of your routine. So if you're going, oh, should I do this or this? Or what do I do next? Or why is this happening? Get out of your head, go into that beautiful heart, let that feeling of love come through, open your heart, connect into your higher self, and then see what happens. 9 of Pentacles, that's going to bring through for you a lot more abundance. It's a very unique way for you to create your world. So, yeah, this is just what I'm getting. I'm still seeing those beautiful pink hearts. So it's new for you. Page of Pentacles. This is creating a new reality, and it's just step by step. So really just try and come back into your heart, ask questions, ask your higher self for guidance. Don't think it's just your crazy head answering you. You'll know the difference. That's why I think I did that meditation today, was to get everyone to start really trusting when they're connecting in with their higher self. Okay, so Temperance, beautiful. So this is something spiritual. Again, this is a higher aspect of yourself. and it is about having patience, but there will be change. So that's what temperance means to me. So I hope that helped you. And yeah, if just let us know if anything like that's been going on for you, or if you've been working on that self-love. So that would be good. So yeah, so that's great. Thank you. So right, is there anything else up there? What's the time? Are we nearly? Oh, we're there.
Right there. I just want to say thank you very much to you, Maree, and to Elisa for letting me come on board today. I've had a really good time. I love talking dreams. So thank you. And thank you to everybody out there as well for all of your questions and for welcoming me. And I really appreciate it. Thank you.
Yeah, definitely. And thanks for being on, guys. This is awesome. So yeah, I'll look at putting up another one for same time next week, and I'll get our fabulous Zandrell back on with us. She's the Dream Meister. So, but meanwhile, just look after yourselves. We love you, and yeah, really just stop, breathe, take some time out for you. Just disengage from other people's drama. Okay, look after yourself with all these frequencies coming in. So yeah, Jasper has been quiet today. I know. Oh, Jasper, right, we're getting you in next time. So yeah, but I think we just had so much that was so interesting, wasn't it, to talk about. So, all right, guys, we will see you hopefully next week. Bye.
Bye.
Thanks, Sandy.
Thanks, Marie.